Guys, you don't need to choose between price and quality to get an amazing and affordable shave. DollarShaveClub.com is the answer. To prove how amazing their shave really is, right now they're going to give you your first month free to join the club. DollarShaveClub.com delivers amazing razors right to Tim Gettys' door. That's right. GameOverGreggy's own Tim Gettys. For a third of the price of what them greedy razor corporations charge. Join the club like Tim did and stop dealing with drugstore hassles and the battle of the locked up razor fortress ever again. Because that's annoying, you know, Kev. When you go there and you got like a page of the guy and he comes over and he acts like he's doing you a favor. It's like, just let me do this. See why over 3 million members like Tim love Dollar Shave Club. They're so confident in all the quality of all of their products. Now you can get your first month of the club for free. Just pay for shipping. After that, it's a few bucks a month. No long-term commitment, no hidden fees. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/Greggy. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Greggy. And you can have a smooth neck, just like Tim Gettys. My topic, I want to talk about being a dumb kid. Being one of those dumb kids, as Colin Moriarty would say. Wouldn't know about it. I bet you do. Because I'm going to set up the... I was a dumb kid, obviously. I think we've covered that enough. You'll have to take notes for the documentary on behalf of Nick Scarpino. But we're in Anaheim the other day. It's GameStop Expo. Come back from a long, hard day of work. Probably had our 4th steak dinner of the trip. I get into bed, cozy up, and I'm like, I'm going to watch a little TV before I go to bed. So I get back out of bed. I get the shower cap or whatever, wrap that around the remote because I'm not touching this disgusting ass remote, I'll tell you right now. Turn on the TV, start flipping through the channels, and I hit a little movie. I'm sorry, nay, a little film. Oh, no. Called The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin. You remember this?
Great movie.
Elijah Wood, Macaulay Culkin. This is his breakout role after Home Alone. He's like, I got this good guy rep. I'm going to go play this movie, The Good Son, where I'm actually the bad son. And I killed my little brother, and I'm psycho. I'm clearly a psychopath or whatever. Before ever seeing The Good Son, saw maybe a trailer for it. I read the novelization of The Good Son through Scholastic, whatever. Bought at the book club, Colin, the little novelization of The Good Son. And then when the movie had the audacity to come to television on pay-per-views, my parents wouldn't let me rent it, wouldn't let me watch it. But I'm like, Mom, I know these characters inside and out because I read the novelization of The Good Son. And now this got me thinking, Colin. I also, without ever seeing the movie or reading the comic book, read the novelization of Spawn, starring John Leguizamo. Now, again, didn't see the movie, but knew he was the clown in it, right? But I read the novelization of Spawn. Didn't care about the character before or after, but this is what I did. Now, these are dumb kid moves. This is a dumb fucking thing to do, Danny O'Dwyer. And then it dawned on me, why didn't my parents try to stop me? Now, I guess you could go with the argument, he's reading, Jamie, let him go. Yeah. That's good enough. Nobody was like, you read these 2 books. Mm-hmm. Clearly you're interested in books that have trailers, I guess. Yeah. There had to have been a point, right, where they could have said, if you like, there was no Amazon back then, right? Of if you like this, maybe you like this.
There was, though. And I think this is the point, is you mentioned the Scholastic book club things.
Yeah.
That was the Amazon, if you like this, you'll like that. You're flipping through the the book fair's coming. Yeah. They give you the little, like the sheets, it's like 4 pages. Whatever's featured on those 4 pages, you know what the good stuff is.
Sure.
They promote it. Did I read the Space Jam novelization? Yeah. Did I refuse to watch the movie till I finished the book? Yeah.
Smart.
Did it take me a long time to finish that shit? Sure. Yeah. But I did. And I thought I was cool because Scholastic told me. Scholastic, they're running a freaking drug deal thing going on. There's a whole circuit going on with these kids.
100%.
Those lies, they give you the big ass Goosebumps box where it's like, oh, you pay this much a month. It's only 2 cents this month, and the next thing you know, it's like $1,000 down the drain.
Sure.
You don't even have all the Goosebump books.
Sure.
It's a freaking scam.
Yeah.
You didn't get scammed.
No, but I wish I had.
You didn't get the front page stuff. You were going a couple pages in.
And that's the thing is, why were they selling me the novelization of Spawn or The Good Son?
Because there's money to be made.
And they got me. They got my money.
They're getting money off the back end, I'm betting you.
Scholastic Book Fair and Book Club was an awesome day of school, though, if we're being honest. And especially, not only that, just getting the catalog and flipping through it. You know what I mean? I remember when I didn't get I remember, but I don't remember. When I didn't get the fucking Here Comes the Caterpillar or whatever in 2nd grade, right? There was some fucking story about
Here comes the caterpillar,
some fucking
the American classic.
some goddamn caterpillar living in an apple or some shit. But I remember then the kids who did got like the plushy apple that had the caterpillar. And I was like, fuck, that would have been good. Didn't care about the caterpillar story. You know what I mean? But I didn't care about Spawn's story, but I bought that and read that. Now, again, why didn't someone stop me or just put me on a different track? God only knows. This wouldn't be a Scholastic book club, Tim, that I found. Read this book, Crush. Maybe it wasn't called Crush, but it was something similar to that, right? And what this story was...
of Crash?
No. What this story was, and it must have been junior high, when you're experimenting with yourselves and others, you know what I mean? You want to know how body works. You're staying up, listening to B96's knockoff Loveline, because Loveline didn't come on till later. You know what I'm saying here. This book, right, was this girl who got murdered, pushed off a balcony, right?
Babysitter's Club?
No, but then her ghost was still out to trying to solve her crime or whatever. And I distinctly remember her going into her boyfriend's dreams, and he was about to have sex with another girl, and then he had to have this conversation with her about this is just a fantasy or whatever. But there might be some sex in this book that got me to read this. Why didn't anybody say there's better books with sex in them? Why don't you read this? Why don't you get on this? But again, here's what I think might stand out about the books I'm choosing to read, right? They are contemporary to my time. You know what I did not like? I'm reading these Frog and Toad books. These guys on the cover are riding the old school bicycles with the big
penny farthing.
And the little wheel. Well, come on. I want to know what's happening with Frog and Toad in real life. What's happening with them now? I didn't like
in the streets.
When you're reading The Great Brain, a great series of books, right? Except that like one of the Great Brain schemes was to flush the toilet and to charge money because he was the only toilet in town. I'm like, I can't relate to this. I need a contemporary book like Spawn, the novelization of the movie.
Or just like, dead girls and ghosts and sex and stuff.
Or The Good Son.
The Greg Miller story.
Exactly.
What is this topic about?
Being a dumb kid, Colin.
I like the books, man, because I was a sucker for that shit.
Yeah.
There was so many of this, like Animorphs. Like, oh my God, there's nothing I want more in my life for an Animorphs book to be written about us, so that each of us can have our own cover where we turn into some dumbass animal.
Sure.
I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, no. But see, that's the thing is like that Animorphs and Goosebumps, I think, exist in the same thing of there's a series of books, you're into them, great. Read some fucking books, kids. And that's how Goosebumps works. It was like those things were crack.
Yeah.
The bookstore in downtown Glen Ellen on Main Street still exists. Couldn't keep them in stock fast enough. People were going through them. You're trading them on the school grounds. You're playing with them. I remember our teacher or whatever, must have been 4th grade or whatever. We'll just say Mrs. Gustafson. I'm not sure if that's who it was. She was so impressed that kids cared this much about these fucking books.
Right.
That they were all trading books talking about
instead of trading cards
or heroin needles or whatever the hell it was. Yeah. So yeah, the books were one of my dumb things. Danny O'Dwyer, what is something dumb you did as a kid now you look back at? Because my thing is I would talk my kids out of this. If I will be the Amazon they need when they're reading this garbage. No, you don't need to read the novelization of Justice League Part 2. There's comic books, and we're just gonna go see the fucking movie anyway.
I love the idea that the most grounded book you ever read was Spawn.
Yeah.
Like that was the linchpin, and then you're freaking out about the toad and the fucking penny.
It only works in
Mr. Toad
reverse
kind
one.
of sucks though.
It
I'm
only
gonna be real.
What, Frog and Toad?
Are we talking about Mr. Toad?
No, I'm talking about Frog and Toad. Remember these? These were two. There was a frog and there was a toad, and they had little
Easy to
adventures
mix
or some
up,
shit.
really.
Yeah, I don't even know who Mr. Toad is.
I think it was Mr. Toad.
Is this his
Mr.
wild
Toad.
ride?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's a Disney guy. I don't care about him.
Is it the same
They
series
are
we're talking
different
about?
people. These are different cinematic Frog and Toad
I
universes.
feel like I'm having a pipe dream right now or something.
So then
really
it only
talking
worked
about.
in reverse once, where I saw the movie Hook, and then I was like, this Peter Pan guy seems like he's got some stuff.
Good
let's
novelization.
Let's go read a Peter Pan.
Yeah.
It wasn't a novelization
Yeah.
movie. I went and read the Peter Pan book, one of them.
I saw Three Ninjas Kick Back, and I'm like, you know what? I need to read the novelization of this. I love that thing.
There's
Yeah.
nothing sadder than reading the novelization of a movie based on a book, but not reading the book.
Sure. Oh my
reading
God.
I mean, Space Jam is a perfect example. You could have just read the book.
What is a dumb thing you did as a kid? And will you talk your children out of similar moves? Tim, Colin, this is open to you as well. Colin had to do some really dumb shit, I imagine.
Sorry, I just missed what you just said.
What is
There's
it?
not a
What's-
Space Jam book.
No,
is
it is not.
Okay, God.
What's the dumb shit
I
you
got
did as
real
a kid?
excited.
What's some of your dumb shit kid stuff?
I did so much dumb shit.
And then will
my
you try to talk
entire
your
life.
children out of it? Are these things you just have to let kids
You
do?
need to have their own experience. You need to be a phone. Like you need
I'm going
to
to support them being dumb kids.
Like if I see my kids trying to fucking collect Terminator 2 cards like I did, smack that shit out of their hand. What the fuck is wrong with you?
No, dude, I think it's important. I think that stuff, like as stupid as it is, specifically the trading card thing, I think that there's a camaraderie there.
Sure.
And
Social
you're not
experiences.
buying those things alone.
Yeah.
Like, at least I didn't.
Yeah.
And the people I know didn't. So it's like, it doesn't need to be the Pokemon card craze where everyone's doing it or Goosebumps. As long as you and a section of people that you're surrounding yourself with are into the same thing, I think that's super important for the kids. And they need to figure out what that shit is.
Yeah, don't do the thing I did, which was get really into a set of cards that nobody else was into. Because I got stuck with like a load of Beavis and Butthead cards, but like no one was allowed, like other kids weren't allowed to buy them or something because they were a little bit like risque.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I was stuck with all these like filthy cards. My brother found them and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell mom you have all these dirty cards," and I couldn't get rid of them because no one else wanted them.
Yeah.
And I ended up throwing them out because I was scared he was gonna rat on me.
Like there was a card game, Young Jedi. You might remember this, Colin. It was not the Star Wars collectible card game, but it was the sequel that came out with the prequels. And me and my friends got super into it. And it was like no one else gave a fuck, but it didn't matter to us. We had hella fun with it. Like there was it was a game. It wasn't just trading cards. It was like the card game. And we had so much fun, like every weekend playing that shit. But it's like, did we waste an insane amount of money like going to buy booster packs? Yeah, but going to buy booster packs was like a thing we did.
Yeah.
So I'd support my dumbass kids wasting my money one day.
Sure. I guess it just comes down to trying to help them have better taste. Maybe I could have been more like Colin Moriarty if I wasn't reading the novelization of Spawn or the novelization of The Good Son. And I really, here's the scary fucking thing, is that I had to have read more movie novelizations that I'm just not recalling at the current present moment, right? Like this is clearly, I was on this track for some reason where I thought this was a good idea, where I'm reading all these. Oh, here's a good one for you. Why did I do this? Who the fuck cares? I read all the Batman Nightfall comics, and then, I'll go read the book too. I read all the Death and Return of Superman comics. Yeah, you're going to put out a 350-page book on this thing? Sure, why not?
Well,
Let me in their heads.
See, I don't think that's so crazy. Like, I read the Star Wars Timothy Zahn trilogy, and I want to read the comics too. Like, it's just different.
But the Star Wars comics sucked back then.
Yeah, but those weren't. Those were awesome.
Nah, who knows?
I
Was
know.
Watto
They
in
were
them?
great.
Was
Dark
Watto in
Horse?
them?
Yeah, the Dark Horse ones.
Was Watto in them?
Watto was not in them.
There you
Watto
go. It's
didn't
not a
exist
problem.
yet.
Well, I know that's a problem. That's a huge problem I have with
not
that
a
universe.
problem. No.
Let me tell you also.
I read the novelization of Episode 1.
Yeah?
The Phantom
Better than the
Menace.
movie?
Oh yeah.
No, it was,
Just as bad?
it was. I mean, for me being an 8-year-old kid reading this thing, it was pretty damn cool.
Let me tell you something. This weekend, I'm in Chicago with Poe, his son Jack. Prequels are on TNT or whatever, back to back to back to back. I start up somewhere in the middle of 2, watch through 3. Those movies don't hold up well. And don't get me
Really?
wrong. Don't get me wrong. We all knew they were bad.
Yeah.
But I mean like the CG looks
yeah.
Well, that's the
fucking
problem.
awful.
Is because they were. That's all those movies were technical showpieces.
Yeah.
And so now they just don't hold up because that's all they were. There was nothing grounding them in anything.
Yeah.
Satisfying at all. I think 3 has a bit more practicality to it. I think 1 and 3 have a bit more. 2 is just fucking CG train wreck.
Right.
But there's like some of the final fight scenes in 3, besides them jumping around looking like freaking monkeys. Some of the CG holds
Also,
up a bit better.
I forget too that they put a lot of chips on Dooku. They're like, people are going to care about this old man. Let's have him fight stuff really slowly.
Yeah.
And like, there you go.
Here's this unnecessary character. Amongst a
seen it-
sea of other unnecessary characters.
Seen The Matrix Reloaded recently?
No.
I
Not
mean, the
since I
stuff
saw it
that's
in
not
the theater.
CG looks still great. But
Oh, really?
A little bit too green maybe nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
A bit heavy on
It's
the
pretty green.
color grading there. Yeah, it's a bit more.
But I mean, it needed it though.
Yeah.
You know, like that was such
Style.
a big point of that movie was the look of it.
I rewatched it recently because loads of it's shot in Oakland.
Oh, really?
Which I didn't
know
know
that
at the
either.
time. Yeah. You can see like you know when they fight the twins and they're all like disappearing
Yeah.
and shit, and then they drive the car before the freeway chase.
Yeah.
That's all downtown. That's Telegraph. And then the freeway chase was done on Alameda. That's where they built that freeway.
Interesting.
But watch the Agent Smith fight.
Saw that in the theater.
Overwatch porn looks
seen it
better
since.
than the Agent Smith fight does.
I believe it. I mean, the asses and dicks I just saw a second ago.
Those very
pretty damn good.
I
glistening
mean, it was
dicks.
just like the two, like the whole, like they were like all over, they were like so
Yeah.
floppy and perfect the way you'd expect.
Why are you flopping them on my face?
Because that's what we were seeing. I'm enacting what we were watching too. If you want to show me your butt, I'll show you the other one too.
No, it's okay. I'm
Okay,
good.
just letting you
No
know.
one needs to see that.